Hello friends, this is Anurag Vasudev from Ved Immigration and Educators. As you might have already checked the thumbnail of this video, which shows the top 5 reasons why students fail in IELTS speaking test. So we will be discussing all top 5 reasons in brief in this video, so stay tuned with me in this video. So let's start with the first reason, that is overconfidence. Most of the students, when they start to do their IELTS speaking, they try to over exaggerate things, and they try to keep the speaking as perfect as possible. So this is not what the examiner is looking for. They usually take this as overconfidence. So sometimes students start to compare their scores with other students or might be their friends. They start to compare their scores with them, and then they just fill out the exam and they believe that they will get the good score in IELTS, but unfortunately after the result they get the shock and they receive the low band score. It is just because of the overconfidence, because there is no one to tell them the right marking for the speaking. There is nobody to look for from them that they want to have a good band score, but nobody is there to guide them. So first and the foremost reason is overconfidence. So it is my suggestion personally to the students not to be overconfident. Whenever they feel that they are ready for the exam, just look for some advice from some any expert, any mentor, any expert person from where they are taking coaching or they are taking training. So just go for some advice before filling out the exam. Now coming on to the second one, that is lack of consistency. What does this mean? So lack of consistency means that students start to prepare for IELTS exam, but they are not consistent enough to practice every day, right? So this is the major mistake by the student, that they must be practicing speaking every day for a good band score. So if you are not doing daily practice, if you are not going for any practice material on a daily basis, I don't think so that you will get a good band score. But if you are practicing enough with good consistency, like you are doing a practice every day for at least 15 minutes, that will get you a good band score. Right? So it is my personal advice. I always advise my students to at least practice for at least 15 to 20 minutes in a day. That is more than enough if you are planning to get at least 7 or 8 bands in speaking. I can personally tell you this because I have got my good band score myself, and I always advise my student to practice as much as possible on a daily basis. Right? Okay, so coming on to the third part. So the third part is lack of patience. So lack of patience. So patience is key to success. This is always said, right? But the thing is, whenever any student starts to take classes of IELTS or taking any English, they start to take any English language training course, what the first thing they do, they fill out the exam right away before even taking training. So this is the worst thing that they can do, and this is the one thing which I always ask students before they get any admission or in any institute. If they're coming to me, I always ask them, have you filled out the exam or not? If they say no, that is good to go. If they say yes, that is a totally hectic job to do right there. So we have to take care of this thing, that we have to be patient when we are preparing for any language class or when any language test, I would say, right? So patience is a key to success. I would say you have to be patient for at least 2 months, right? If you're not a good speaker in speaking, you have to be a student for at least 2 to 3 months, right? So this is good enough to get you a good band score of at least 6.5 or 6 if you are planning to go abroad after grade 12, and if you are planning to go after graduation, you must be aiming for at least 7 band score, right? Okay, so next point is over explanation. The fourth point, that is over explanation. What does this mean? Whenever any student is going for his or her speaking test, so what they do is they start to over explain their answers over there. Nobody tells them to stop, right? Whenever they are taking any kind of coaching or any kind of training, nobody tells them to stop. Always they are asked to, talk more and more and more. But this is the bad thing which I do not suggest to them. I always tell them, please speak that much, whatever there's any, whatever things they are asking for, only talk about that much, right? Do not talk, more and more, or do not over exaggerate the things, right? So do not ever over explain yourself to examiner that this is the reason why I believe this, or this is the reason that this is happening and all that. One reason is more than enough. If you are giving more than 2 or 3 reasons for your answer, then you will be getting negative band scores, right? So negative in the sense like you will, if you are aiming for 6, you will go down to 5 or even 4.5 band score. So do not over explain, just give your answer and be confident, right? And as a matter of fact, our last point is lack of motivation. That is also said as lack of confidence. So lack of motivation, always in language speaking, especially English, lack of motivation plays a major role in downgrade of band score. So what do you have to do about this? If you are not motivated, to go in the IELTS exam and do your speaking test, you have to be motivated all the time. There are many institutes, many educational institutes out there who never ever focuses on motivation of the students. They always focus on just the academic things, and they never motivate students that you will or you must perform well, right? And you will be good enough to go in there and you will perform there, right? So they never motivate students. This is the one thing which I always focuses on. So one thing which you and all your instructors or teachers must focus on, that is motivation. Try listening to some motivational songs, try listening to some motivational podcasts, right? So anything you think that this gives me motivation, you have to do that before the test, right? So I always suggest my students that to get a good band score in your first attempt, and this is only possible with the motivation, right? So hope this video helps you, and if you have any query, any problem, or if you are feeling less motivated by any chance, just give me a call. I will try to make you as motivated as possible, right? So no hard feelings for anyone, but if you are feeling that you are not ready for the speaking test, just don't go for it right now. Definitely you will get a good band score after listening to this audio or video, after watching this video. And if you have any query, any concern, always remember you have this number to call and you have someone to guide you. Thanks a lot for your time, guys.